Peace, family. This is episode 2 from Dr. Phil Valentine's show, Metaphysical Gems, exclusively on my Patreon channel. To view the full video, you can go to patreon.com/blackmagic363. This episode is called The Metaphysics of Blood. And once again, this is a monthly show Dr. Phil Valentine does on my Patreon. And to see all the shows and the full episodes, you could go to patreon.com/blackmagic363. Thank you.
The consciousness required a vessel that would be able to process life in a instant or in an immediacy that was necessary to maintain the connection between the creator and his creation. Melanin is a semiconductor, and as a semiconductor, it does not need or waste energy in its medium for transporting energy. If you know what a semiconductor is, say for instance, you're looking at a wire, and the wire from the wall is giving you energy so you can run your computer. But that wire is giving off heat, and heat is energy. Well, a semiconductor doesn't give off any heat because it makes sure that it takes the entire energy signature and signal and transports it along that semiconductor to its destination. That's what melanin is. The mind, when you wanted to connect to the mind of God would not have created something that was a deficient way of communicating with it. To communicate with the mind of God said, out of the darkness came the light. But what is missing from that phrase is that for the light to understand itself, it had to return back to the darkness. And how did it do that? It did that in the creation of what they call melanin. And the light that emanated from the darkness was the intention of the creator. And the creator's intention to became the avatar that was the darkness that was able to understand and articulate and feedback the light. The creator does not know itself. It simply is. But in its expression of itself, it seeks to know itself. And this is the only way I can explain it. The way it knows itself is by creating aspects of itself and things that imitate itself, which is the black man, what they call the black man or the melanated man. The melanated man, once left to or given the chance to be left to his on her own accord without the disruption and interruption and the pollution of what you see happening to him and her, they're still trying to figure out how the pyramids are built. Melanin built that. They're still trying to understand how the undersea, these incredible megaliths that they say giants had created, not just giants in stature, but giants in intellect. They're still wondering how that happened. Melanin. That is the only way that light transduces. A melanin body can actually take in more of the light, more of the radiative aspects of light than a white or pale or Caucasian or even a light-skinned person. But today, that melanin is fed garbage. That melanin is put under stress, and that melanin has been taught to worship somebody called Jesus or something outside of him and herself. So the melanin doesn't develop. So when you're dealing with the melanin factor, it's not just the fact that it's got a color in the skin. Melanin is an intelligence. Everybody says, well, it's a polymer, it's a color, it's a this and a that. No, it's an intelligence. It is an expressed intelligence of the hydrogen atom. And once you understand it as an expressed intelligence, you understand what its duties are and what it does for the human body. Everything has melanin. Everything is created through melanin. Everything is based on a carbonic basis. And if the spirit is lost in there, because now The skin reflects the light rather than absorbs it.
Peace, family. This is episode 2 from Dr. Phil Valentine's show, Metaphysical Gems, exclusively on my Patreon channel. To view the full video, you can go to patreon.com/blackmagic363. This episode is called The Metaphysics of Blood. And once again, this is a monthly show Dr. Phil Valentine does on my Patreon. And to see all the shows and the full episodes, you can go to patreon.com/blackmagic363. Thank you.